Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg spoke after the arraignment, saying Trump continuously lied to cover up previous crimes. Scott MacFarlane was at the courthouse yesterday. He's here with us in Studio 57 with more. Scott, good to see you. You had a very long day yesterday. What was your impression in the courthouse yesterday when you first set eyes on the former president?
Everything was so humble in that courthouse. Such a contrast to seeing the former president at the White House or at Mar-a-Lago, where things are quite regal. It's a dank, stuffy, very utilitarian space he walked into. And I had a unique perspective on his face. My vantage point let me see his expressions in the courtroom. And I can tell you, other than the few moments when there were photographers in the room and he gave a small smile, he was scowling. He looked miserable, as I suspect of Vlad and Shanelle, most criminal defendants look.
Yeah, and that could be because of the seriousity of these charges. Can you talk about what was in the indictment itself and the penalties that he could face?
It's unique. There are 34 felony charges, but it's a falsifying business records charge, which becomes a felony when it's attached to other alleged misconduct. In this case, an allegation of a violation of campaign finance laws. 34 felonies. Each one has a 4-year maximum prison sentence, but sentencing guidelines are way premature at this stage. The timetable struck us that the next hearing isn't until December. The trial wouldn't be till January. And just as many things are in Manhattan, things are more difficult to navigate in this courthouse. If this were in a federal courthouse, every one of the motions, every one of the arguments would be public, filed for anybody to read. In Manhattan, it's not quite so easy. We'll have to check in with the attorneys to get a sense as to when they'll file an expected motion to dismiss this case, probably in the next few months.
One of the things we saw yesterday, Scott, is during that press briefing that Alvin Bragg held, the reporter did ask, look, federal government looked at this case and decided not to indict. Why are you doing this? Why now? This happened back in 2016. So the question, of course, is how are Republicans reacting now that the indictment has been unsealed?
If Republicans were going to take this moment and this criminal case to distance themselves from Donald Trump or to use it as a wedge issue against him, they have changed their plans because they have circled the wagons around the former president. The House Speaker, Kevin McCarthy, at this point, the highest-ranking Republican in the Congress, issued a statement saying that this is a weaponization by Alvin Bragg of the federal justice process, and that he will be held accountable for doing so by the U.S. Congress. They're saying, and McCarthy is saying, Alvin Bragg is attempting to interfere in our democratic process. And there are other Republicans doing the same of all different parts of that spectrum of Republicans. Mitt Romney has criticized the prosecution, and Mitt Romney has been unequivocal and unbridled in his criticisms of Donald Trump. And the other possible candidates for the nomination have not used this as a wedge issue. They have fallen in line, much like Mitt Romney and Kevin McCarthy, and criticized the prosecution. Vlad and Shanelle, that gives us at least the possibility, if not the likelihood, this emboldens Trump further.
Well, and the reason behind that, partially at least, is because Trump is bringing in so much more money right now for his campaign. When you think about the timing of this and just how long this could go into the future, how do you expect this might impact his campaign, not just in the next couple of months, but next year?
It could be nitroglycerin financially to the campaign, rocket fuel to launch its fundraising efforts, and it sucks all the oxygen out of the room from other candidates. He's getting all the attention. How's somebody else supposed to break through in this massive Trump news cycle that has just begun with the arraignment? And also, the timing is not unimportant. The trial is set for January. You know what else happens in January? The beginning of the Republican primary season for 2024. All of this will happen beneath a Trump spotlight.
Well, there was lots to follow here. I'm sure we'll be chatting again. Scott, thanks so much.